Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network, for the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light.
From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the schmoes know, this is DC Movie News, bringing you the most up-to-date discussion and commentary within the DC universe.
Greetings from the planet Oa, fans of DC. Are we mere hours away from the Batman v Superman teaser before Jupiter ascending? I seriously doubt it. I'm Adam Gertler.
I actually can tell you for a fact, but let's get to the intro.
You screwed
You
up my
totally
intro.
messed up the flow of her intro.
My
sorry.
intro is ruined.
Let me give you an intro. Ladies and gentlemen, find her on Twitter at Roxy Stryer. She is Super Bowl champion Roxy Stryer.
Woo, woo, woo. See, that was way nicer than you writing in the chat that I deflated all the balls.
Well, I mean,
Johnny LaQuasto.
Oh, boy.
it's just that we know each other well. What do you want me to say?
Oh, do we?
And that's Johnny LaQuasto down there at the other end of the table.
Hey, everybody, let's talk Jupiter Ascending for the next 53 minutes. No, actually, I have a very good friend. My buddy Dale Rutledge, co-host of my podcast, he went to the premiere of Jupiter Ascending. There was no BVS in sight.
Okay, but to be fair, they don't always put a teaser or the same trailers at the premiere.
Okay.
I agree with that.
I mean, there are official. I mean, look. I don't think it's happening. I think we would know. But all I'm saying is, tonight there will be the midnight showings. Yeah. I mean, out here they probably have 10 o'clock showings. Part of me really wants to go sit in a theater and then just see if it happens. And if it happens, and then this movie starts, and then I'll see how much I can take before I walk out.
I have heard it's not very good.
What are the chances that you go and you walk out before the movie starts just to see the trailers?
Right.
Wait, what do you mean?
$12?
Guys, I have a friend who works in movie theater, and he said all the copies that he has received does not have Batman v Superman attached.
Oh,
so zero chance that you go.
Jupiter descending real fast.
I think they were just like, this movie is such a buzzkill. This will actually work against Batman v Superman. This movie is such a buzzkill.
Jupiter Deflategate.
And I wanted to say, somebody made a comment that I commented on Channing Tatum's makeup and how silly it looks. Look, I have nothing against makeup and performers with makeup. I mean, Alice Cooper, there is a long history. Kiss, not a Kiss fan, but I mean, makeup used properly is great. I just think when I see Channing Tatum, he looks really silly.
It was just interesting that those were the people that you just picked. I mean, to relate to Channing Tatum.
Roxy, have you heard of
No, people that have successfully used makeup.
Girl, so get out of here. And second of all, who hates Kiss?
No,
horrible people. And who relates them to Channing Tatum?
Kiss has got a couple of songs, couple of tunes. That's it. Let's get to some DC news. Not a ton of movie news this week. We actually have a lot more TV news, but we got a couple of items. So we'll start with the movies. Many of our favorite casting choices, Jason Momoa, Aquaman to be, spoke out about portraying the iconic character, being part of the DC universe for the long haul, and setting up shop in Michigan. Mm-hmm. Shout out Greg Hamill. Even possibly opening a brewery in Detroit. First of all, how much do we love Momoa? How much do we love the fact that they're filming in the state of Detroit, a state that needs the money and is giving a lot of tax breaks, Detroit particularly. And would you drink that man's beer? Those are my questions.
I will drink any beer that's not called Bud or Miller Lite. So
all
yes,
right.
I would drink more than that man's beer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I drink your milkshake.
I would drink his milkshake.
Okay, there we go. We got that out of the way, and we were just 80 seconds
at me
in.
About deflating.
All right.
Okay.
I'm just saying, actually, I keep waiting for him to do something that makes me hate him because I'm so used to loving celebrities so much and then them saying one wrong thing and us all pouncing on them. He hasn't done it yet. I think he's awesome. I'm obviously a huge Game of Thrones fan. This is great. I love beer. Go beer.
Yeah.
Go Momoa.
And the Midwest is a haven for breweries. And if he's got the money, He knows what his career is going to be the next number of years.
Yeah.
Why not open one?
And what about that, too? What about the fact that here's a guy, just, unlike Chris Evans, who I think is great as Captain America, but we all know that he was very outspoken about the fact that, I don't know if I want to get tied up to, 9 movies. Momoa was I got kids.
Yeah.
And now he spoke out about how comforting it is as an actor, and we know lots of people in the business, how difficult it is to know that you've got movies lined up for the next 6-7 years, to know where a lot of shooting is going to be. Mm-hmm. He could be bi-coastal. He could set up shop in Michigan, have awesome life there, possibly open a freaking brewery.
That's the dream. Look,
that is the dream.
When people get into this business, whether it's hosting like we're doing, or whether it's acting, or whether it's comedy, or whether it's whatever you're doing for your career, your dream gig is to have something lined up to where you have the freedom outside of your job to do whatever the holy hell you want.
All right.
So,
to play devil's advocate a little bit here, though,
Good.
because I completely agree that is some people's dream, but I don't know if it's everybody's dream. If your dream is your job and your job is to portray as many different characters as you possibly can, this could be something that an actor wouldn't want. He clearly has other passions besides being an actor, which is fine. He has kids. He has a family.
Yeah.
He likes beer. Go ahead. This rocks for him, but I would understand why some actors wouldn't want to be tied down to a role.
You're absolutely right, and it's easy to say hey, just because you're working, you shouldn't want any more. You shouldn't aspire to any more. And I don't mean to say that Chris Evans is wrong. I just mean it's refreshing to hear this point of view. Here's a guy who's not. He's not a Stanislavski actor. That's not the impression I get. He doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who wants to embody and challenge himself and go the Colin Firth route. He knows he's going to be playing brawny guys, and he's got this Aquaman gig, and he's happy to see that it's going to be going a long time. And this is just echoing what Cavill said, what Eisenberg said. It sounds like the Warner Brothers crew is like, look, we know it's taken a long time before we get there, but once we get there, we're really happy to be in this world.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that, and I think it's great, and it seems to be exactly what he wants.
Do you guys think that we're going to see him as Aquaman in Batman v Superman?
Yeah, I think briefly.
Okay.
Why? You mean before he turned?
Or is it going to be like a Throne of Atlantis kind of situation where he's going to be like Arthur Curry? Maybe he's not fully aware. We're just assuming that the world engine wakes Aquaman up. He comes to the surface. What if Aquaman's got a secret origin happening as well?
Actually, let me retract my statement. We might not see him in Batman vs Superman. We might see an inkling that leads into Justice League.
Yes.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Well, I don't think that the first time we see him in the movie, we don't know how much we're going to see him, but the first second
I'm just
that
asking
we
what
see
you
him,
think, Roxy. Just relax. I'm not
so
some
difficult.
demon.
I
I'm
don't
not
wanna
your
be
father. There's no wrong answers here.
Do you want to hold your
you
flash?
said you would keep that in. You said
It's
it'd be
a
private
safe-
between the two of us.
Roxy, hold your
Safe
flash.
place.
Hold your flash. Just
Yeah,
safe
you're
place.
taking Flashman away from me.
Okay, good. Hold your flash. Moving on.
No, we can't.
Oh.
We're still talking beer.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, no, please. Oh, yes, let's talk
I was thinking
beer.
very,
Do we have
very...
sausage to go along with our beer?
Always, always.
Yeah, it's a perfect match.
It's me.
Aside from Adam's sausage, I think I came up with the perfect beer for Jason Momoa. I'm calling it the Atlantis Aqua Ale. It is a blood orange IPA that is just loaded with hops, and it's about an 8.5 to 9% alcohol content.
I think you got to give it a 10.
If the blood
Push it up to
orange
10
is
and I'm in.
more,
If you get it to 10, though, it becomes more like a wine.
is this going to be like a Hefeweizen or some of those beers where you get more of the zest of the orange and not really sweet? Is it going to be
Oh, no. It's superhero hoppy. Just a slight hint of the orange, obviously.
Now, it's interesting that you said blood orange because orange is obviously associated with Aquaman, but blood orange is only orange on the outside and red on the inside. Oh, kind of like Aquaman. I guess if you cut him, he'd be red on the inside.
Why would you cut Aquaman? What are you trying to do?
Somebody might want to cut Aquaman.
Why would you want to do that, Adam?
Brainiac, Metallo,
Adam Gertler?
Doomsday could want. I don't want to cut Aquaman.
No.
Seems like it to me.
Blood oranges are a
bit.
little bit stronger. I thought it would be a perfect IPA.
Well, it sounds delicious. I also like beers that are in the 8%ing.
Man.
Because as someone, and I don't know this is good math, someone could check my calorie facts on this. I like to get to the heart of the matter. So it's if I want to feel a buzz, I want to get there in one beer, not 3 beers. Because it's just too much bloat.
This is why we go whiskey, Adam. This is why we go whiskey.
And that's smart. That is why we go whiskey.
That's my girl.
All right, kids, look, drink responsibly.
He called me his girl.
That's really what we're saying here on DC Movie News. Drink responsibly. We will drink
drama.
I would drink his beer. Suicide Squad director David Ayer has teased Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn psyche via a tweet. And the tweet, could you have it right there? Can you bring it up?
Well, keep talking.
Okay, basically he said something to the effect of the case of Harley Quinn. What is the key of her madness? Is she mad because of who she loves? Or because of how much she loves him?
Yeah, the case of Harley Quinn, her madness defines her. Is she mad because of who she loves or because she loves him so much?
Sounds a lot like
Who, all caps.
Okay, so...
Also a band.
Now,
maybe they wore makeup.
Anything that this director tells us is clearly some kind of clue, some kind of indicator. First of all, let me just say, I love the fact that he's already starting with the tweet teasing. Yep. I love what, Zack Snyder did a lot of that. J.J. Abrams did a lot of that with Star Wars. It's like, just get out there.
Would that be called tweezing? Tweet tease?
Yes, tweezing.
He's tweezing
Tease her with a tweezer. That's a fish lyric.
Tweezing.
So what does that imply to you? What does that say to you about Harley Quinn's state of mind?
It's more saying to me that, like, he's trying to get us thinking about it. I don't know. I always felt like she was a little more grounded than people gave her credit for.
No, she's
so
Well, there've been several incarnations. There've been different incarnations of the character. We've talked about that before.
Saying nothing.
No, I think it's because she loves him so much, not because of who she loves. I don't know. I could totally see falling for him.
Are you crazy?
So it's a very much
a little crazy.
The precedent here, Johnny, before you go off the rails, think about like the Manson killers, right? These women were devoted to Charles Manson.
Yeah.
And they killed for him.
Right.
So it's not that much
crazy.
belief. And he says
because
her madness defines her. He's already coming out and saying this is a character that's crazy.
Yeah.
But what is the source of her insanity? Is she crazy because she loves the Joker, or is she crazy because she's so devoted?
First off,
honestly, the more I say it, the more confused I am. I'm acting like I know what I'm talking about. I got nothing.
That tweet is saying nothing. If I could go ahead.
Why would you assume that it says nothing? Like, why would you assume firstly that it says nothing?
Because if you just look at human beings and how people act, all right. Okay, you said that, oh my God, she's crazy because she loves him so much. No, the tendency to be crazy is already there. If you can fall in love with a sociopath, maniacal fiend, you're already bat-ass crazy, all right? She already has a thing like a lot of women do. Oh my God, I could fix him! And then you try to have a reclamation project and it just blows up in your face.
So think she's crazy because of who she loves? You don't think she's crazy because she loves him so much?
No, I think she's crazy already, and that allows her to fall in love with another psychopath.
And just unrelated, are you currently in a committed relationship?
Hell no.
Okay, good.
Good to know.
Just defense rests, Your Honor.
I'm just saying that I'm not saying she's not intelligent. She's obviously very, very intelligent, but she already is kind of crazy, and so therefore that allows her to fall in love with someone completely out of whack.
JTE, what do you think about that, Chatorel? I know you've got an opinion.
That's tough. I mean, David Ayer is really good when it comes to characters and writing, so I'm kind of just curious to see how he writes the character.
Well, it is interesting to see, like, the whole idea of translating comic book characters is difficult to do realistically in the screen. So there is an interesting question here. It's like, how do you make someone like this believable? We already said, like, she was such a cartoon, like she was born on the animated series. So you can't just lift her out of that. You've got to ground this character.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be interesting to see how this character is grounded.
Now maybe we'll have some kind of family history on her. Maybe she has a father who was not there, or maybe a father who was abusive.
Daddy issues.
Oh, definite daddy issues.
Right, and a lot of times people that have daddy issues, they end up being attracted to people that were like the daddy who had problems, and so maybe that's why she's...
If you guys are watching us live right now, definitely leave some comments. We'd like to know what you think, what you want to see in a Harley Quinn, what you think Margot Robbie's portrayal will be like.
So we're live on YouTube's Popcorn Talk channel, so if you guys go there to our live events, we are
Wait a second. You just created a conundrum in the space-time continuum. How can you tell people to go there if they're not already there?
Ooh, tricky. Well, if you are watching this later, you want to join us next week on Thursday at 2:45 Pacific time. We'll be there then.
This is like the Matrix 2. This already happened. I've already seen Jupiter Ascending. Oh my God, guys, there's no Batman v Superman teaser. This has happened a million times.
Can I make my point about Harley for a second, though?
Yeah, please do.
All right, bringing it back. If any guy in the world is a little bit in love with Harley, which I believe there are plenty of people, especially now that Margot Robbie is playing Harley,
I'm a lot in
then
love with her.
Are you crazy? Or are you crazy because of who you love? Or are you crazy because you love her so much?
I mean, I love her from afar. I really don't know that I could be in the same room with her. Like, I honestly feel like It would be like she would seduce me, and then she could kill me. She could. I mean, I would.
She's got runaway bride eyes, man. You got to stay away, and a baseball bat.
I'm thinking Sharon Stone, Basic Instinct to like the ninth power.
Call on him.
Tutorial, yes.
Listen, I only know her from the comics. Is she actually a good fighter? Like, does she have any certain skills besides just her?
Well, she's got that bat. She's had like a giant sledgehammer sometimes. So she's got, it's almost she's got like that crazy fighting strength where she's so unhinged. I think that's what makes her effective and deadly.
In that picture right there, she's basically the female Sting in the world of pro wrestling. She's got a face painted white and a baseball bat, and she's frightening and intimidating. You don't know what she's going to do.
When you feel like you have nothing to lose, you couldn't be a
So she's not
fighter.
like the female Sting, like a message in a bottle. That Sting.
Or why couldn't you have said Roxanne? Why couldn't you have gone Roxanne?
Walking on
you don't have
the moon.
to turn on the red light.
Some say.
Thank you.
Can we agree, though, that Margot Robbie's going to kill it?
I think so. Yeah, that's one thing. I mean, I'm still really looking forward to it.
that.
Still, we've had no news. No news is good news, like Gary Gnews, about flag casting, flag fathers. It's been really quiet on that front this week.
Why are you saying no news is good news?
Because that's what Gary Gnews used to say on the Great Space Coaster.
I completely agree with that typically, but I'm thinking no news in this case might not be necessarily good news.
No, you might absolutely be right. I wasn't making sense.
Oh.
Yeah,
well,
I was
now that we're
really
on the
just
same
making...
team. You know, the quicker we get cast, then the quicker I realize that the script is good because somebody wants to take it right now. I'm like, oh my God, why will nobody take this role?
I'll play Rick Flag.
Okay,
you haven't even read it. Did you read it? Should I tickle twist
He'll
it out
take
of you?
it.
No,
He'll take it.
I don't care how bad a script is.
I think you should take it.
I'll take the
Sell out.
No, I think maybe they're just trying to keep it under wraps. Maybe they're getting a little sick out of every twist and turn, every leak happening. Maybe they're trying to clamp down. Like, again, the Sony debacle, the hack. You heard Amy Pascal pretty much lost her job over that whole thing today. I think the studio's got to be getting really frustrated that every piece of dirty laundry is, like, being tweeted about and speculated about.
Social media.
Yeah.
Why have we moved over to Sony's?
Oh no! It would just be there was news today that Amy Pascal got fired.
Exactly.
Because heads rolled, people lose their jobs. You know, when information gets out there.
It wasn't just that; it was also the fact that she sent that borderline racist tweet, or not a tweet. She sent those emails. She sent like the borderline racist email about how Obama would like to see a certain type of movie.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of reasons.
That really is the thing.
Yeah, it's a loose comparison. I'm just saying that there's a lot of information that's out there that 5-10 years ago it didn't used to be like this. You would just find out like a movie was coming out when you'd see a poster, and now it's like there's a 20. Like there are shows like this that exist because of the nature of the world we live in. I don't know. That's all I have to say.
Which is good for us.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Either way, Suicide Squad. I don't care what the script is. I think that they got to find a way to make it amazing. I mean, the cast is there regardless of who plays Rick Flag.
Yeah, well, look, again, Zack Snyder in his producerial role, setting the tone, and then David Ayer stepping into this. I actually just about to watch Fury. I haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
I'm incredibly excited.
I thought Fury was really, really good.
Honestly, I don't even care. It was great when we were gonna have some of these name actors, but now if we're not gonna have Hardy, if we're not gonna have Gyllenhaal, it's still going to be a good movie. It could be a guy that we've never heard of, and it could still be awesome.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There's amazing actors out there that we don't know the names
exactly.
of.
Well,
trust
me.
That's
true. That's true.
It already has names.
I don't care if it's someone famous or not. Just put someone in the role that can do the job. That's what I want to see.
That's why I'm saying no news is bad news for me, because it's like taking so long to have somebody be like, oh yeah, I like the script, let me sign on.
I think there's a very good chance that the role is already cast, and maybe they're just keeping it hush-hush.
And we don't know?
We don't know.
I thought we knew everything here.
We don't.
DC Movie News.
No, we definitely don't know.
We know
DC
nothing.
Movie News.
We are not men.
I'm like Schultz. I know nothing.
Was there
you don't get fined?
any other movie stuff you guys wanted to talk about? Because there's a lot of TV stuff to talk about.
TV time.
A lot of TV.
Let's talk about some television in your little box.
Okay, Bane Cat. We finally have...
Sorry, I just woke up.
We finally have an image of Brandon Routh's Adam costume. His Ray Palmer is finally going to be suiting up.
All right. What's up,
Very
Iron
similar
Man?
colors to his Superman costume, but it's got an interesting face
helmet,
plexiglass kind of situation. That's the only thing I take issue with a little bit.
Oh, you don't like that?
No, that part is a little wacky to me. I don't know why.
You know
What
what
do
he
you
looks
wish
like,
it looked like?
to me?
What's that?
He looks like he is in the LAPD in a movie taking place in 2030.
It does have a little kind of like almost like a RoboCop-ish vibe.
Right, it does. Yeah.
He looks like
little Iron Man.
He looks like Pacific Rim 2.
Ooh.
Oh, he does. He looks like he's gonna do the psychic handshake.
This is very interesting that you guys seem to be ripping
gonna be
on this
drifting.
because I really like
No,
this.
I think it's good. This is not ripping.
on it. I think it's great.
Sorry, I you know what? I'm not ripping. I just gravitated to the first thing I thought was a little odd. It did make
You're
it look
just a
like a
negative human
rollerball.
being. I get it.
No. All positive. I think it looks really good. I think overall, I mean, look at like the Smallville days and look at here. Look at how far we've come into what we can do with a costume on a superhero TV show. I thought the Grant Gustin costume looks really good for the Flash. I think this is an awesome costume. Now the question is, one thing we haven't really talked about, like he knows it's this exoskeleton kind of thing. I haven't heard too much talk about shrinking.
Yeah, which is really, really interesting because obviously that's what this character's here for.
It's a tough suit to shrink.
Do you think that they're holding off on talking about that because of the potential spin-off and they're trying
anagram, the ATOM, I'm not sure what it is on the show. I don't know. See if you can find what they're using on the show, what Adam stands for. But I don't know. I mean, and there's talk about this. Like, if they can't do the effect of him shrinking well on a TV budget, they might go a different route with the Atom, which is really weird because you're used to the Atom kind of like shooting through phone wires and stuff like that. And, you know, like that's what he does. He shrinks. That would be really different.
Without him shrink? No, he's got to shrink.
He's got to shrink, right?
Well, of course. But I'm just saying with the potential spin-off coming out, maybe they're trying to hold off on things.
But again, what is the effect going to look like? Because if they do that poorly, it's not like as easy as making a guy like run really fast. Like everything else has to be huge in his environment. Like they're going to have to come up with a clever way to do the effect so you buy it, especially if it's going to carry a show. What do you guys think that they should do? I mean, have there been any tests for this? Is there any precedent? Is it going to be like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Yeah, just get that franchise. Whoever did Honey, I Shrunk, just go.
If you guys have answers to Atom's question or you know what Atom stands for on Arrow and soon to be Flash, then let us know on Twitter, #DC Movie News or @DC Movies SK, and of course on YouTube if you are there in the chat now.
And if you want Rick Moranis to come out of retirement, just throw that in there.
Where is Rick Moranis?
He quit.
And why isn't he signing up with Marvel or DC? Come on, Rick.
No, he said years ago he just doesn't want to act anymore.
It's because you haven't reached out to him yet, Adam.
And Gene Wilder too. Where did he go while we're at it?
You know, they're living their life.
I don't know. Can you tell there's not a lot of movie news this week? We're like we're making a plea for Gene Hackman. Gene Wilder and Gene Hackman and Rick Moranis all to come out of retirement.
We're having a good time. That's what we're doing.
But in all fairness, every single comment that we get about the show talks about how they want us to be including TV news, so we're just giving them what they want.
Great.
Advanced Technology Operating Mechanism. Thank you, Mr. Architecture One.
Okay, so what is it? What is it?
Advanced Technology Operating Mechanism. That could be
anything. Say about small there. Anything imply...
Well, advanced could mean shrinking.
But it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't inherently mean shrinking.
Well, maybe it could be atoms and then just throw shrinkage at the end of it.
You're really
Okay, so now read that to me.
Advanced Technology Operating Mechanism shrinkage.
Oh, yeah. You got it. That's it. You figured it out.
You're really thinking that they might not have Atom shrink? Because I'm thinking there's no way.
There's been no indication that he shrinks. There's been indication that he wants to fight crime, that he uses this exoskeleton, and he's got Felicity Smoke.
Wasn't there indication when a few episodes before the hiatus, when he was like showing diagrams on it? I feel like
but he wasn't shrinking.
I feel like there's indication of it.
I don't know. Am I wrong? Did I miss something?
Nah,
I haven't.
There's gonna be shrinkage.
Tell me, guys. Will there be shrinkage on the Atom?
There's always shrinkage.
But I'll tell you what there will be. There will be Atom on Flash because of this picture that we see Brandon Routh chilling with Roxy Strier's boyfriend, Grant Gustin, who, by the way, was he on Glee? Was that his whole thing?
Yes, of course. Okay. And then we got to see him sing.
That was so cool.
It was so cool.
That was great.
He was Darren Criss' love interest on Glee, and he's so talented. I wanted to hear him sing. We only got to hear him sing one song, but it was from Grease, so it was really worth it. Summer Lovin'. Now you can.
No. Go ahead. You stepped in it. Now follow it.
Happy and blessed.
All right.
Summer Lovin'. No.
Happened so fast.
Roxy, your singing voice is left to be desired.
You did it. You're main catting.
Keep singing and I will pee in your litter box.
I'm done.
That was a really cool moment where I don't know what's the girl's name. She's wasted. She gets up and does karaoke. She's like,
Caitlin,
bring Barry Allen up here, and he gets it, and he was like, note perfect. And it was like a moment where like if you didn't do it well, it would have looked really silly.
Yeah.
And it just looks so great because the Flash can't get drunk because he processes alcohol so fast.
Right.
So it was a perfect setup. It was great. It was a really awesome moment.
He's like Andre the Giant. He couldn't get drunk because he just.
Oh yes, except if he was smaller and faster than Andre the Giant.
Yeah, a little shout out. A little shout out to my Flash show. We're having Candace Patton on next week, who plays Iris. So if you want to check out her interview,
cool.
I'll check it out. See if we can get her to come on this show too.
Let's talk about the dynamic though. If we're gonna have Brandon Routh on the Flash, you got two scientists.
Right.
Together.
So if this is already happening and they haven't even introduced Atom in action yet, do you think that the Atom is going to be on Flash?
No.
You think it's going to be Ray Palmer?
Human form. I think it's going to be two scientists working together on something. I don't think we're going to see the costume.
Maybe he's still working on this. Like he's putting all the little pieces of his suit together.
And Alan, he's supposed to be like the more deliberate scientist. He got hit by the lightning bolt and stuff like that. So there's going to be some kind of weird scientific combination.
Wow. Okay. I think. All right. Check this out, guys. New theory forming right now. What's the event, the thing that happened that gave the Flash his powers?
Particle accelerator.
Right, the particle accelerator. What if there's some kind of particle accelerator interaction with the Atom suit, and the shrinkage thing is an after effect, something that happens totally after, and it's unintentional?
Well, a lot of the particle accelerator's aftermath is dormant right now, and people are thinking that it will come.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if he's going to be there, maybe this is the inciting incident that leads to the shrinking, just like when he got into the coma when he was on Arrow, the inciting incident, and then Ray Palmer's going to be out of it, and then he'll come back in the Atom show.
Something they're going to do together as scientists, and then it all comes back to shrinkage.
Yes.
There's always shrinkage.
Did we just crack the code?
I don't know if Grant Gustin could cause shrinkage for anybody.
Yeah, well.
Just saying.
It's happening right now. It's literally happening right now.
Not for me.
No, I really think we might be onto something here, because why is he just going to be on the show? Like, there's no point in Brandon Routh just showing up.
Some kind of experiment gone awry, perhaps.
And I really think since the inciting incident that caused the Flash to be the Flash happened on Arrow, it would kind of make sense, right? Mm-hmm. That you had like this final thing, something happens to him.
Yeah, I just wonder how, say that doesn't happen, you go, whoa, what?
I just got excited. I really think we may have thought something through here.
Yeah.
But what happens if that doesn't happen? He goes back onto Arrow, and so what would have been the point of him coming on the show? What other possibility could it be?
You're saying, what if this is not the case?
Yes.
I don't think he's showing up to fight crime. I think it's going to be a scientific.
I don't know, Roxy. Why are you such a bummer?
What I was about to say is because
we hear. Why are you totally buzzing my? You're harshing my mellow.
I'm not, but I'm saying if that's not the case, I believe the episode.
Stop bogarting his log, Roxy.
I believe the episode that he's coming on is also an episode that Felicity Smoke is coming on, so maybe he's just there with Felicity. I have to say, you guys threw something amazing out into the universe, but if it doesn't happen, I don't want people to be disappointed because it's exciting enough that he's coming on the show.
It's all hearsay. We're just having a good time, Roxy.
Well, maybe some of us are having a better time than others.
I just thought.
I think me and Adam are really enjoying it while you revel in your Super Bowl victory.
All right, well, at least the Pats won, and I have dimples, okay?
Yeah.
No matter how annoying I am.
Someone said I have dimples in chat roll, and I'm honored.
Yeah.
You go, boy.
I don't think I do, but
butt dimples. He's
Maybe
got some butt dimples.
Of mine.
Not so in those.
No.
Anyway,
Mark
Hamill, everybody.
Yes. So comicbook.com interviewed current Henry Allen, John Wesley Shipp, about working with Mark Hamill. Again, as we know, Mark Hamill is going to be reprising his role as James Jesse, the Trickster. And then, so this is 24 years later when Wesley Shipp was the Flash on the CBS show. Mm-hmm. Now, 24 years later, John Wesley Shipp is playing Henry Allen. He's in jail. And apparently these guys are going to be sharing a scene together again.
Hell yeah.
And I will maintain, I haven't watched it since it originally aired. I think that the John Wesley Shipp Flash costume looks awesome. Remember, this is coming right out of those Tim Burton Batman movies, and it's very much a suit in that sort of style.
To me, it's very classic superhero style, pardon my words, but it's nothing flashy. but it suits the purpose. I mean, now Trickster, on the other hand,
ridiculous.
Oh boy,
ridiculous.
He looks. Oh,
I wish we had the picture of what Mark Hamill looks like as a modern Trickster, because he's way toned down, but he still has like a shirt that kind of reminds it, and he's got some crazy hair.
He'll be a little more menacing.
I've got something a little bummerish to say.
Oh.
It kind of reminds me of like a Barney costume, like both of them, like they're playing playtime dress up. Yeah,
okay.
Just like they're in their old closets.
But once again, and this ties into something that somebody actually asked on Twitter. When that show aired, which I believe was like 91, how old were you?
In 91?
Yeah.
In the womb?
Yeah.
God.
You were actually in the womb already? Or?
Yeah, well, I popped out in July of 91.
Oh, great. So
13th.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, there's that.
Yeah.
And
that's great.
Yeah.
So, depending on the month, yeah, it's either in the world or the womb.
You might have actually just missed the airing of the Flash show.
Ooh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I was learning arithmetic and doing division.
Oh, yeah, me too. I was really smart in the womb.
I think I had a mustache. I was driving a Mustang.
Yeah, right. You were the kid smoking.
Anyway, and so they also asked John Wesley Shipp what he thought, like, who's the better costume? Like, if he could, like, suit up again, which costume he had. And he very diplomatically kind of said, like, look, for my physical type, that was the better costume for me then. Grant Gustin is 10 years younger than he was when he originally played the role, and that this is more appropriate. I like Grant Gustin's costume. I like that it's not a skin-tight muscle costume. I think it works. I like it on the show, and I do think, you're right, it does, like, the old one definitely looks kind of dated now.
Well,
but is there a chance that we'll see Henry Allen get Flash powers, since we know CW shows like to give everybody and their aunt the same powers as the lead character?
Well, they say right now that he's going to form some kind of alliance from prison.
Uh-huh.
And that's going to kind of conflict with his son. Oh. So it doesn't really necessarily mean he's going to get superpowers.
Is he going to get, like, prison tats?
I think he might already have some. He's been in prison for a while. Right, Roxy?
I mean, what are these tats going to say?
Like, you know, you do, like, one of those things.
Oh, wow. Is that permanent?
Right? Is that a
teardrop? A teardrop.
Is that a teardrop?
The rest of the show.
Yeah.
Actually, for the Flash, it'd be little tiny lightning bolts down the cheek.
I can't do
like
a lightning
Harry Potter
bolt.
kind of thing?
A little bit.
Huh.
Would that be that sort of thing?
That's commitment, Adam.
Lightning bolt?
I really appreciate
I
that.
don't even... I mean, if you're listening on iTunes, this would be the time to switch over to YouTube.
What?
Adam's drawing on his face.
I'm just trying to get into the head of the character. Look, this is space work. This is acting stuff. Look, you guys don't understand.
Well, we'll see what John Wesley Snipes does, and we'll see what happens.
John Wesley Snipes, great.
Anyway, this is the most exciting piece of news of the whole week for me. We have news about the Titan show on TNT. Did you forget about this? I think a lot of people may have forgotten about this.
Titans.
We know Teen Titans. We know the lineup of the Titan show, and it goes a little something like this. This was probably the single nugget that I was most excited about. Apparently, and I know if you're watching this show or listening to it, you gotta be jazzed about this. It starts off the pilot, Robin is Robin, and he's left Batman. So that means, all right, we're already acknowledging that we live in a world with Batman, and he later becomes Nightwing, either later on the pilot or on the show.
Your boy.
That I love. Then, someone asked us a couple of weeks ago who are some, like, less loved heroes, and I believe I mentioned Hawk and Dove, and I was like, were they even DC?
Hawk and Dove. I know.
Hawk and Dove are going to be on the show. Now, there's many incarnations of Hawk and Dove. Sometimes it's like brothers, and then they're like the Hall brothers, and then another guy came Oates, and he becomes Dove for a little bit of a while.
Not to be confused with Hall.
Yeah, no, it is. It's the same guys.
Yeah.
But then there's also a Dawn Granger. So, and then, like, you know, Hawk gets his powers from, like, the Lords of Chaos, and
this will be
Dove from, like, the Lords of Peace or the Lords of Tranquility or something like that. And they're just a badass combo.
And this will be Barbara Gordon as Oracle, not Batgirl.
Right, but not even, they're saying not Oracle in name. So Barbara Gordon will be on the show.
Right.
She will be wheelchair bound. She will basically be Oracle, which is like Wells or, you know, the people.
She runs the worldwide communication system and, you know.
Right, exactly. She's going to be running the Atom system. No, separate universe. And then who else do we have? Oh, we also have Starfire.
Yeah.
Which would be not as well known to some.
Not as well known, but well known from the Tevens, both Raven and Starfire. Raven I can kind of see because her powers involve like magic and incantations and dark arts.
Also, she can heal incredibly fast and heal others around her.
Yeah, so that one I could kind of see. But Starfire is an alien. So that's kind of out there.
She's also, I believe...
I think that's cool, though, to see what they'll do with that.
Yeah.
The question is, man, how the hell are they going to cast for that role? Look at that outfit. Jesus.
Well, yeah, it'll be very good. So what do you guys think? Do you think it's going to be the New 52, Hall and Granger, Hawk and Dove? How are they going to do Starfire? I'm like really curious. More importantly, are you guys excited about this? Like, I know TNT is mostly like wrestling and...
No, TNT has no wrestling.
No wrestling anymore.
TNT's the hour-long procedural, they've had Law and Order.
A lot of cop shows, Rizzoli and Isles.
Yeah, so they'll be... I
have not watched a show on TNT in quite a while.
It's since 1991. Just so you know, everybody wants to let you know that you are a method actor, my friend.
Okay, I'm very in scene, yes.
Yeah, everyone.
I mean, better to have this show on TNT than, like, say, USA. USA's a lot quirkier with their shows.
Yeah, there's some good comedies on USA, actually, now.
But TNT had, like, Mob City, for example, which was like a little tiny miniseries that was real gritty and really dark. So
Isn't that what Suits is on? Did I make that up?
Suits is on USA.
Oh.
Yeah. Sean Bean has a show on TNT, I believe, right? The show that just premiered last year. I don't know if it's still if he got killed off on the show because they always kill him, or if I know he's the lead in the show. But that was the last one, so I don't know. I'm excited about TNT. What do you guys think? Because this is going to be a different vibe than CW, CBS.
Right. Aside from FX, I think TNT's probably the best home for it because then you have a lot of options to make it dark.
You're giving it like AMC FX level props.
Well, I'm not. Yeah, I think TNT's a pretty good network, man.
So you think that we're going to see a little bit more of an adult tone than say like Arrow or Flash? Not that Arrow is an adult, but it also, like, just because it's CW, it tends to be soapy. It veers into a soapy area.
Yeah, it's not going to be like Gotham dark, but I think it's going to be something that adults will definitely enjoy watching.
Well, what about Constantine? That's kind of dark.
Constantine is dark.
Yeah.
And again, I love Constantine.
But
I'm the only one
so well.
not doing so well, but it gets really dark.
Yeah, it gets dark, but I think that the reason...
How is there an audience for Sleepy Hollow and not Constantine?
Because Constantine's on Friday nights.
How is there an audience for Grimm and not Constantine?
Because Constantine is on Friday night.
Friday's an awful night for television.
How is there an audience for Once Upon a Tale, Shelley Duvall's Fairy Tale Theater, and not for Constantine?
I mean, there's a lot
How
of
is there an audience for Mike and Molly and not Constantine?
Or 2.5 Men.
How is there an audience for 2.5 Men and not Constantine?
I'm not playing this game anymore.
Tutorial, jump in here.
Friday nights are death, man. It's a bad night to have a show on.
First of all, the movie which came out with Keanu Reeves years ago was critically panned, so I think it
perhaps a bit of an incantation, love.
Wow, he's drawing on his forehead.
I'll summon the demons and once again save Constantine, love.
I just am like baffled by you today. I mean,
I like how the guy that mentioned Charles Manson earlier in the show is now drawing on his forehead.
Hey, that's a different symbol.
You're trying to prove that you don't mind when guys wear makeup on their face.
Yes, the point is that makeup can be very effective when done well, but clearly like me, I have something to cover up. Channing Tatum. He's got like whiskers. Look,
hey, Adam,
I'm going to see the
movie.
Your
next episode of FX Movie Download, that should be the makeup you go with.
I don't think you have anything to cover up.
Oh.
Bam!
Oh, wow.
Just saying.
Okay. Just got...
Except for now the black makeup on your...
Can we talk about Milo for a sec?
Okay, yes. Milo Ventimiglia, a.k.a. the son of Rocky Balboa, and more relevant to this story of the cast of the show Heroes, which was good for a handful of episodes, is going to be taking on a 3-episode arc as the character Ogre on Gotham. The last couple of episodes of the season. He's going to be
from Gilmore Girls?
Is he?
This has got to be the guy from Gilmore Girls.
No, I don't think he was.
I mean,
really
Heroes.
It's got to be him.
Rocky Balboa.
Heroes, yeah.
Again, I'll go down.
Milo.
Heroes.
Yeah, no. He's just on Gilmore Girls.
Rocky Balboa.
I'm pretty positive.
Again, not Rocky 5, but Rocky Balboa.
I loved Rocky Balboa.
He is just on Gilmore Girls.
Excited about Creed?
Which is clearly the most important part.
I haven't heard much about Creed, but let's not talk about it now.
Why does nobody care? Why does nobody care?
Because
obviously it's Gilmore Girls is a big deal. I've heard it's good. No, I'm sure that's good.
It's really good.
It's been gone for years, hasn't it?
It's witty. It's on Netflix, which means it's around forever.
All right, I will watch all of the Gilmore Girls this week if you will stop talking about it.
Milo.
No, I'm kidding. Okay, so he's great. He's a really good actor. I really liked his character on Heroes.
And Gilmore Girls.
He was great as the annoying son of Rocky Balboa. He was the guy listening to one of the greatest speeches ever given by a Sylvester Stallone character. The famous speech about
it's not about how hard you get hit. Yeah.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Right. But let's talk about this.
Not your best.
This version of the ogre is going to be a version of ogre we haven't seen before.
Right. Originally, this was a character that was in the Batman comics who has like enhanced strength and things like that. But what they're saying, Bruno Heller, again, producer of the show, is saying like this is not going to be that ogre.
They're describing him as a witty, intelligent, seductive guy who's searching for his perfect mate. In other words, he is American Psycho. Is basically his character, the way it was.
You're going to say, in other words, he's the male version of Roxy Stryer.
Hey-o!
I totally didn't
roof.
See where you were going.
No, basically, the way it explains it, it sounds to me like it's American Psycho. He lures young women, and if they're not perfect for him, he disposes of them rather quickly.
It's a little. I'm sorry to say, I get that it's my 12th time, but it's a little bit like his character on Gilmore Girls.
Oh, really?
Kinda. He's like very attractive and can get the women.
Look at you. You're physically. You're affected. Just when his picture came up, you were surprised. You were like, you're almost like it was almost like this. It was like he was in the room. You didn't know he was going to be in the room. You turned around and he was there, and it's literally a picture on a screen, and you are flustered. You can't even contain yourself. Would you like to? Do you want to put on some makeup?
I think I gotta put the makeup on.
Put some makeup on. Cover that.
You do.
Cover that stuff up.
Just draw on your face.
Also in Gotham news, moving on, producer Bruno Heller has hinted that we will start to see the origin of the Joker by the end of the season. I know they wanted to kind of like tease it and stretch it out. That doesn't mean we're going to see the Joker. We mentioned before that we were going to see the Red Hood gang. Let's get joined in. You got a little doggy nose.
Getting ready for Banecat.
So what do you guys think of that? Do you think it's too early to tease the Joker, or you got throw it at the?
I'm down to see a Red Hood.
Wow, that's really good.
Banecat is here in the house. I think it's not too early to see the Joker. I think that it's awesome to see the Joker. I think people have been waiting to see Joker. By the end of season 1, I think it's a perfect thing. I think it's kind of what they're doing on Flash right now. Spoiler alert! In case you're behind it in Europe, where we just like got a little tease of Grodd.
Oh my God!
I know.
That was more than a tease. That was a tweeze. That was
a tweeze. But I think
amazing.
that we're saving probably for the finale to get a big moment. I think that's probably what they're going to do with Joker.
I don't think you're going to see Joker as the Joker.
Well, not as a Joker, but I think it's going to be a big.
But it would be cool if we see who he is.
Yeah,
and like
I think we might. We don't even see his face. We might just see a hood.
Yeah,
it might
something.
Just be literally just a little thing.
Or so you're a Red Hood gang. One of those guys goes down. One guy falls into the vat of acid. We see that he gets away. Something like that. We see that this guy has escaped. We don't need to see anything more than that if they go that route.
It's really cool to see all of these villains years before we've seen them. I love that.
I was so annoyed by the constant use of the Riddler of Edward Nygma, but now that I like his character, okay, it's not that I like him. I'm sympathetic to him. I feel bad for him, and they're doing a really good job at making me feel like, how is this guy going to go full like bad? Because he's just a sweet, misunderstood, dorky guy that's smarter than everybody else in the room, and he's like really into this girl, and she doesn't like him back, and like he's being honest with her, and like girls often say like they want you to be honest with them, but really they don't want you to be honest. They want you to be like the mean guy or the tough guy or somebody that you don't really want to be, and you don't know how to be that guy.
Yeah, we let him keep going. Okay, sure. No, I was more annoyed with Penguin at first because I was like, but then just proved to be awesome.
He's gotten better
Whatever
too.
it is, I think that all of them are kind of kick butt. I think they're doing a really good job with their villains, so I bet that they will incorporate Joker in a great way.
Well, what's weird is there's a lot of flack. Is that a thing? Back flack?
Backlash?
Backlash.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people
Flack
out
is
there,
a
and I know
thing, too.
there's people in chat roll that don't like Gotham at all. I enjoy it, but there's a lot of people that are really anti-Gotham.
What is it that you guys don't like about Gotham? Is it young Bruce? Is it his pretentious annoyingness? I mean,
think it's just maybe not the story that they want to hear. They want to hear, instead of this, they want Batman, not Bruce.
But how many times can you tell that story?
The female doctor character that they just brought in, the actress that was previously on Homeland and V, again, she's one of these actresses that like is just so gorgeous and like fills the screen in the best way. I love seeing her on, on the show. I liked on the last episode there was a lot less Bruce Wayne. I think that's a good idea. Like, I don't mind Bruce Wayne. I don't mind if he's a pretentious kind of brat. I like the fact that they tease like he was out and he was like visiting Switzerland. He's already starting to just go on random trips around the world.
I understand if people don't like Gotham. I completely get it. For me, I like the fact that it's on Fox, it's on a major network, and they're not afraid to. They get violent, and they're really graphic on that show. To where like there's certain things that happen on the show. I'm like, are they allowed to put that on network television? Okay, I guess they.
What is that?
Just because we've talked about her a couple times, I wanted to give her a shout out. Her name is Marina Baccarin. I think that's how you say it. So
I don't know why I don't know that. That doesn't even sound familiar to me.
Yeah, I know.
So hot.
Me neither. But she is so hot, and she is fabulous
and talented. When I say hot, I mean like it's talented too.
You mean attractive, and talent goes into attractiveness.
I mean, like in a vacuum, she's a very pretty girl. Like what makes her so hot is like she's like got tremendous chemistry on screen. I feel like we would have a lot to talk about. Like you and Milo.
Is it almost
so much to talk about?
Is it almost question time?
Almost. A couple more things.
Okay.
One thing I just wanted to say is that an important reveal is going to be made on the CW Seeds Vixen show. Just kind of teasing about how the continuities tie together. The kiss that was shared between Felicity Smoke and Barry Allen when they kind of like hooked up a little bit. Apparently, Ollie's character from Arrow is going to find out about that on the Vixen show.
Which is really interesting.
It's just interesting to see that they're going to. It's just an example of how the continuities are going to tie together. That they're going to be there's new information. It's almost like what Star Wars is doing in keeping things in canon.
Right.
Meaning like you don't need to see everything, but there's going to be real information. What do you guys think about that? I think it's kind of radical.
I think it's really cool because it's saying you don't have to watch every show, but if you don't watch every show, you're going to miss some things, right?
And that's that I always feel guilty when that happens. I'm like, oh man, I don't have time to watch everything.
Yeah, like I never watch when they say like there's extra footage of the character, go to the website, and then you have them doing like first-person interviews. Like I don't do that. It sounds like this is kind of like that, but making it animated and telling a story. So it sounds much more interesting to me.
Yeah, I do go and do that. I'm somebody who goes to the websites. This is definitely something I'll tune in for because I've been waiting for this really uncomfortable, awkward moment to see if is this one of those Ollie just punches him in the face kind of things, or is this one of those all right, at least you got that out of the way, I can't really be mad kind of things. I don't know. I got to see what happens. Got to watch.
I'm just interested to see if perhaps we're going to meet the Vixen character on one of the shows before we meet her on the animated series. I think that would be really cool. I hope that we do.
Yeah. That would be cool too. That'd be a great way to tie her in. Yeah.
Before we get to questions, let's wrap up with a little exciting Superman news. Superman, every once in a while, when they kill a comic book character or a comic book character gets married or divorced or is gay, you'll make national news. So once again, Superman is making national news. John Romita Jr. and Jeff Johns coming to the end of their run on, I think it was like the Ulysses storyline. Superman, those are a comparison. So you had the new costume is that first picture, and then this is the second, the New 52 costume. They're very close. So Superman's getting a new costume. You could see on the original New 52, he's got just that red belt, but on the new costume, he's got the yellow on there. Terrell, can you just go back to that other picture so we can see it? That first one. So you can kind of see there's that little bit of yellow on the belt. Also, the boots are more the old school Superman boots and not quite the bulky New 52 boots.
The second picture looks almost identical to what we're seeing in the film.
Well, yes. I think just that little pop of yellow and that little shape on the belt is different.
And the Hunter rain boots, yeah.
Yeah, what are they? What was that?
Hunter rain boots.
What does this mean?
They just look like boots made by Hunter that come in red and yellow, like those classic rain boots.
Hunter rain boots.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
So you thought it meant something cooler than that?
I didn't know. I had no idea. I was I literally thought you were speaking in another language, and I was like
Ugg boots?
Hunter, it's a company. They make rain boots that look exactly like this with a little indent in the front and...
Well,
kind of look like ducks.
Superman wants to protect himself from rain.
I like it. It's a little bit more of a nod. Do you miss the red trunks, guys?
No.
I'm somebody who tries not to get too attached to costumes. As long as they're looking cool, then I'm feeling like it's okay. Right. I think both of these have a cool look. I will say this
As you say to me with like a cat drawn on your face, like you're a member of KISS yourself.
Yeah, but you don't like Kiss, so can I be a member of something?
Meanwhile, your face looks like you just walked out of a cult meeting.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Take some Kool-Aid, guys.
I will say with the yellow on the belt, it does look a little more like a seatbelt. Like, please stay strapped in. Keep your legs and arms inside the vehicle at all times.
And the neckline is also, I think, a little bit lower. I think they lowered the neckline a little bit.
You want to see some cleavage?
What? No,
what?
Yeah, of course. No, actually, the movie costume is a lot lower of a neckline. This is also coming when Superman's going to be getting a new power, basically. It comes out in this fight with Ulysses. You can see right there in this picture, you can see all the powers that were slowly added to Superman's mythology over time. There hasn't been a new power set added since like 1949.
Because he's got everything.
Because he's got everything. But this one is kind of cool because basically what he can do, it's like it's born out of his heat vision. And it's almost like the uni beam on like Iron Man. He can basically max out and just do everything and do like a super flare. It's like Superman goes supernova. He puts out a solar flare, and that's it. It's like a world-ending finish him move, but then he's juiced out for 24 hours. So it's like a super duper power, but then Superman's vulnerable for 24 hours. What do you think of that?
Looks like Pop-Tart box.
That one looks like a Pop-Tart box?
Kind of feel like.
Oh my God, I would be buying those Pop-Tarts. Blue Pop-Tarts with the
I
S
feel like
in the
this
whole thing.
might be a very strategic move.
Tell me why.
For the movie universe.
That's what I was going for, LaQuasto. Talk to me.
I think it's, I mean, obviously, look, they have the whole slate planned. Pop-Tarts are great.
We definitely will get Pop-Tart tie-in.
They have the whole slate planned out till 2020. This is going to be coming out, and we already said we're going to have a Superman Alone movie, I think, in, 19? No, ish.
A standalone?
Oh, that we're just speculating.
Yeah, we don't know.
We're speculating.
But
we still got 2 Justice League movies. I mean, there's going to be plenty of Superman.
I feel like they're setting that up to bring it into the movies.
I think you're right.
I might be.
I think you're right because I think this is a way. Like, the question is always like, how do you?
The hero has to be vulnerable in any story. It doesn't matter if we're talking superheroes or any other kind of story. The hero has to be vulnerable, or why else are we watching?
So it's a way to give him a new power, but also, more importantly than that, it's a way to give him a new vulnerability other than kryptonite. What do you guys think of this new power? I believe the new comic just came out yesterday or today. That's all we have for news. Questions, comments, concerns.
We only got less than 5 minutes. So
Absolutely.
5 minutes.
So this is coming from the chat from Dennis Lookman, who wants to know, do you think Batman vs. Superman will be in IMAX 3D? If so, this would be the first movie ever featuring Batman. That would be so awesome, like Man of Steel was first Superman movie in 3D.
I mean, they're filming an IMAX cameras, so...
Yes. And I believe it's supposed to be 3D. Doesn't necessarily mean that it will be IMAX 3D, but I believe yes.
I mean, any reason for them to charge $20 a ticket, they will find a way to
I will pay it. I'll be like, here is all my money. I'm like, can I pay for all the DC movies like now? Like a forever stamp?
Like a package.
Yeah, like a forever stamp. So like if the price of movies goes up over the next 7 years, like I only pay the 2016 price.
Okay.
I'm thinking that's not going to happen.
Like a fast pass in a way.
And once again, you've killed my dreams. Go on.
Okay. Eric Ward says that we do an amazing job, so thank you to him.
Thanks, Eric.
Let me just say, Valerie Cherish to you.
Thank you, Eric.
That was really.
Also wants to know, do you really think we need more superhero shows?
I don't.
I know they will be doing an Adams show, the guy playing Ray Palmer, so etc. Do we think we need more superhero shows? This has been going around a lot, and people's opinions are across the board on this one. I think as long as they don't spread themselves too thin where the content isn't as good, I will take as many superhero shows as I can get if they are up to standard.
Yeah, I gotta say, as much as I love talking about these shows and the idea, I do think it's a problem. I think it's a concern because it really does take away from the specialness, the uniqueness of these movies and making them more events. Like, we're already going to be having more of the movies than we ever have.
You're going to end up getting a few stinkers.
I almost can't even get to some of the more serious, like, or not serious, but like non-comic booky Downton Abbey kind of shows, that I like to watch because I'm like, oh man, now I got to watch Peggy Carter and I got to watch Gotham and Flash and Arrow. It's like soon it's like all I'm going to be watching, and it's like I love it, but I almost don't even have time to read comics anymore because I'm watching all the comic shows. So
here's a quick question: Will BVS be R-rated? I'm going to say no.
No,
absolutely
I don't think any of them.
No
way.
way.
Okay, moving on. Curtis Schultz wants to know, would Eddie Murphy ever fit into this universe? Like maybe Riddler?
Like 25 years ago, the talk was Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy, Batman. That was going to be, that was very seriously on the docket.
He's approaching
at this
60
point,
now.
Man, is he really?
Well, let's see. For Delirious and Raw, he was about 23 years old. That was in 1983. So I'm sorry, he's about 55.
Okay.
Carry the 4.
Here's the thing. My knee-jerk reaction is to say no, but he was so amazing in Dreamgirls. Like, when this guy decides he wants to do something, you forget
Can you
what
say that
a
again?
talent. What? He was so amazing in Dreamgirls. He was. When he dropped his pants and he's like, Jimmy got funk, Jimmy got funk, Jimmy got funk, and I was like, he was just crazy.
Oh, he's amazing.
When he does the
happy I
stand-up,
asked you to do that.
when he does the stand-up comedy scene in Nutty Professor, like. It's just like there is something so raw there. Like when these guy dials it in.
And it makes you delirious.
It makes you delirious, right? Like you forget because he did so many crappy movies that it really has watered down like one of the most intense genius performers of all time.
Once people reach superstar status in the 80s and 90s, they always churned out a couple of stinkers because they just have all these
He's
products
had more than a couple.
I know. I'm just saying. Whatever.
He's a guy that I would love to see come back to form. I would love it if they can find a good role. Like, it would be awesome to see him.
That might be our last.
Well, one more.
Hurry up.
This is Sophie's choice.
Okay.
Chris Sanchez wants to know Batman v Superman or Suicide Squad. You can only choose one to watch if your life depends on it.
Come on, that's obvious.
I mean, Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I think I'm going Suicide Squad.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think I am.
So you're saying not only do I get to see Batman v Superman, there's no chance that Roxy Stryer is going to be annoying me in the theater at the same time. And on that note,
Batman v Superman.
Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in and watching us this week, guys. We had a lot of fun.
I'm now drawing on my face.
I apologize for drawing satanic symbols on my face. It was not to offend. It was only to possibly save Constantine.
Right. Hashtag save Constantine.
At Adam Gertler on Twitter, Instagram. A lot of sausage pictures.
Boom.
You can find me at Roxy Stryer. You can find us at DC Movies SK. Hashtag DC Movie News.
Right.
Here on Thursdays at 2:45 Pacific Time. Join our YouTube channel live so you can chat with us. That's Popcorn Talks YouTube.
Wrestling and Padres Slamcast on Nerdist at Wrestling Buds. I'm also headlining the Brea Improv. So if you live in Orange County, California, March 18th, please hit me up. I will get you free tickets. March 18th, Brea Improv.
Wow.
Love to
All
see
right.
What a play.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Christian Harloff, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.